Another beautiful day right here at Knight Transportation, one of the biggest trucking companies in the industry. And yeah, they are investing in like that driverless technology. They're in all that. But today's my last day. Well, it's my last night in the yard. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Yeah, I worked here and at CR England. And this is my last time working for any mega carrier. It might be my last time in trucking. But since I've worked at both of these companies, let's compare the two. So, Knight Transportation versus CR England. They're both mega carriers, but there are some differences there. The main thing that's different from Knight Transportation versus CR England is the macros. Over at CR England, I had to do so many macros before I could leave a yard with a loaded trailer. Right here at Knight Transportation, it's only about like 2 or 3 macros that we do, and that's it. That's it. We don't do all the macros that I was doing over there at CR England. I don't even think I've ever done a DVIR right here at Knight. However, when I do my pre-trip or after I do my pre-trip, I do go on duty pre-trip inspection. So the DOT, if they pull me over, they could see that. And my DM could see that I'm doing my pre-trip. So yeah, that's one cool thing about being at Knight Transportation is I'm not doing all these stupid macros that you really just don't need to be doing. But the number one reason why Knight Transportation is a lot worse than CR England is because this is an over-the-road trucking company, meaning that no matter what you sign up for, they're going to put you on OTR right here at Knight Transportation. So you need to know that when you apply for this company. Over at CR England, they have a lot more dedicated local lanes that you could run. If you want a better work-life balance, I say go over there to CR England if you're a new driver or if you're just going to work for a mega carrier. Whatever you sign up for over there at CR England, Foster Farms, Dollar Tree, any of the dollar stores, Walmart, Target, that's what you're going to run. If you sign up for ports or something where you think you're going to have a work-life balance here at Knight Transportation, they'll tell you that in the application process, but once you're in, they're going to throw you on OTR and you're barely going to be on. And that schedule you thought you were going to have, no, you're going to be running your 70-hour clock and your recaps. So yeah, that's something fucked up that Knight Transportation does, but that's what you have to be aware of right here. There's a wider variety of trucks. For example, I'm running a Volvo right here. As you can see, this is a Volvo. I don't really like the Volvos. I mean, reverse drive and neutral is like right below the radio. You see that? I mean, why the hell would you put them right there? So when I'm driving, I like gotta, shift, or not shift, but go from reverse to drive right here. Stupid. In the Freightliners, all that action is right here. Yeah, whatever. That's really not that big of a deal, honestly. Knight Transportation also has Kentworths, Internationals, and Freightliners. Here at Knight Transportation, most of the trucks come with an inverter and a refrigerator. I don't really got anything in there. There's a freezer in there too. Besides that, there's not a lot of differences. I mean, these mega carriers are pretty much all the same. If you're gonna run over the road, I would come to Knight Transportation. Knight Transportation seems like a company that you should show up with at least like 6 months experience. I would rather get experience over there at CR England. They're bigger on training over there. You could get training right here at Knight Transportation, but I don't know, maybe it's because that's where I got my training at CR England. I'd rather run over the road right here at Knight Transportation if I was gonna do over the road, because Knight has a lot more terminals and they have access to the Swift terminals, which helps you out with parking when you're doing over the road. So that'll free you up from having to constantly rely on like truck stops. For example, the only terminal in California for like CR England is over there in Fontana, which makes it better right here at Knight Transportation. There's a lot more parking right here. And if you work at Knight Transportation, most of their terminals have fuel on site. But at the same time, a lot of these like on-site fuel pumps, they go down a lot. So you're probably still going to be using the truck stop. Besides that, I mean, it's the same. You're not going to make much money at these companies unless if you're a mentor, which is pretty much like a teacher. You're teaching new drivers how to drive the truck. I was mentoring at CR England for a little bit, but I had a guy fall asleep behind the wheel and it scared the shit out of me. And after that, I was like, no. You guys could take your mentoring and I'm not doing it. Take your mentoring. When you're a mentor, when you're teaching new drivers how to drive right here at these mega carriers, the way you make money is for every student that you train for their first year, you get a little payment for their first year with the company. So after like 6 months to a year, you got all these students under your belt and you're getting these residual payments for them each month. On top of the student that you're actively training, you get a little something each week that they're on your truck. So you're getting paid for your miles, you're getting paid for the student on your truck, and you're getting these residuals for these past like students that you did. And you could easily rack up well over $100,000. You're not going to be home a lot. You're going to be running really hard to make those numbers. You're going to be sharing like this spot, right? The bunk up there. You're probably going to be sleeping up there. They're going to be down here, or vice versa, however you want to work it. But yeah, this is a tight space. No matter what truck you're in, whether it's a Freightliner, international this, or whatever, this is like a jail cell, and you're going to share it with that student. And a lot of things can go wrong with that. But if you're cool with that, you can make a lot of money right here at these mega carriers. As well as referral bonuses. A lot of like these YouTubers, they like to try to recruit people from right here on YouTube. I recruited people over there at CR England. I would run Craigslist ads. When I would get paid, I would take out a little bit of my money and I would invest it, and I would post Craigslist ads. And I would pretty much be like recruiting on Craigslist for new drivers to come to CR England. And I made a good amount of money doing it. But the more and more I was recruiting, the more and more CR England started to get stingy and started to give me the runaround on why I wasn't getting my referral bonuses. So I was like, you know what? I'll just stop. If you guys don't want to pay me, I'm not going to keep giving you guys new drivers. And yes, a lot of that does go on right here on YouTube, not just with mega carriers, but other companies. You see these drivers like, oh yeah, guys, you can make so much money over here. They're probably trying to recruit you because you can make a lot of money in recruiting. So yeah, that's pretty much the difference between Knight Transportation and CR England. Those are the only two trucking companies that I've driven for. I signed up for Ports, they sent me over the road, and I've went back and forth with them about this, and I'm just done. I'm done working for these mega carriers. If you need to get experience, you're gonna run over the road freight. If you're lucky, like I was, after a month running OTR, I got called to a dedicated local route, which was cool. It was really cool until they overstaffed it to where there was more drivers than freight available, so none of us were making money. That's a little trick these trucking companies like to do. The union ones do it too, don't get it twisted. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos and posts on Facebook from people that are over there at ABF, that union company. A lot of them are being laid off right now. That big trucking company, Yellow, after they went out of business.
Those yellow trucks are iconic on America's highways. Now it's the biggest collapse ever in the U.S. trucking industry, with the company telling employees and customers that it's shutting down.
It's like ABF took a lot of their drivers in, and I think ABF did that so they could flood their market with drivers opposed to freight. That way, yeah, we'll pay you this hourly rate that we negotiated with your union, but you're only gonna work like one weekend out of the month. Dude, that's trucking right there. Trucking is a grimy business. It is so grimy, dude. If trucking is what you want to do, go for it. I know there's a lot of people out there, like they're generational, truck drivers. Their uncle was a truck driver, their grandpa, their father, the guy next door, he was a truck driver, and they really want to do it. If it's what you want to do, go for it, by all means. But, these are the realities of being a truck driver. You don't make a lot of money. These companies lie to you a lot. It's so crazy with these mega carriers. When these like snowstorms and these blizzards happen, that's when these trucking companies intentionally send you out there. I don't know what it is. You know what I think it is? I think the rates go up in those areas where the snowstorms are. So they're going to make a lot more money than usual running up to Idaho, Washington, Oregon. Who knows? The pay must be so good. And because they're doing so much volume, that it makes sense for them to just send you out there in that blizzard. Yeah, you could check the weather, but every now and then you're going to get caught up in the shit. Don't get it twisted. Me, myself, I think I'm done truck driving. Honestly, I think I'm just over it. A lot of people say go local. Once you run with these mega carriers and you got the experience, go local. But the thing is, the job market for these local jobs, it's flooded with applicants. A lot of people have CDLs. A lot of people have clean driving records. See that? State of California, accidents, none. That's all that you guys are getting. I'm not showing you guys my full DVIR. I don't want no stalkers or nothing like that. Because I'm telling you, man, some of you trolls, some of you guys are just weirdos, dude. But yeah, a lot of guys have these credentials. Local trucking jobs are hard to get. Everybody wants them. Not a lot of people want to run OTR. You guys want to see something? Look, I got a free TV as a going away present. Some driver just left it in the break room. They left it with the remote and everything. It works. So I took it. Oh yeah, another good thing about these mega carriers is you could always get a job with these guys. I mean, if you're that down bad and you need a job and you got a clean driving record and you got an active CDL, yeah, you can go to Swift and they'll always hire you. I'm thinking I'm gonna go back into construction. I might take my CDL and try to go deliver materials to job sites. I'm at the point now where I use trucking to pay off a lot of debt. Trucking is good for that. If you need to pay off a lot of consumer debt, like credit card debt, a car loan, you can come live in a truck and knock it out in like a few months. I think this is gonna be the last trucking video I do, so let me end it with this. Is trucking something that you should be getting into? It depends. If you're someone that likes being alone, if you don't like being around people, then yeah, this is a good job for you. Over-the-road trucking is probably what you want to do. I don't think it's healthy to live in a truck. I don't think it's a healthy life to live. Not just for your physical health, but for your mental health, I don't think that this is a healthy thing for you to be doing. But seriously though, if that's you, if you really have a problem with being around people, you should probably go talk to a therapist and get some professional help. We're humans. We're supposed to be around other people. We're social animals. And when you're going to isolate yourself like this in this truck, for me, that's probably the worst part about it is I get off work and I'm locked away in this truck and I'm all the way in Idaho. And it's well, what the fuck am I going to do? I feel like I'm wasting so much time just sitting in this truck. But that's me. You might be a different person. If you like that, if you like, hooking up your video game, your TV, your surround sound, then by all means, do you. Another reason why I really believe trucking is a dying industry is because when it comes to automation, when it comes to AI, trucking, rideshare drivers, anything that has to do with transportation and logistics, those are the first industries that are on the chopping block. A lot of truck drivers say, oh, it could never happen, it'll never happen. But the truth is, it's already happening.
Okay, here it is. People are saying that the autonomous trucks aren't happening. Well, here's one that's being run by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Its whole mission is to prove that self-driving trucks not only can be made and can work, but that they can be safer than human drivers.
If you want to take strawberries from California to Dallas, it takes about 3 days. With your Aurora Driver, you'll be able to do that in about 24 hours.
Self-driving trucks can see better, they can see further, they're not getting tired, they can operate 24/7.
Automated commercial vehicle evaluation, smart trailer.
The company plans to offer its autonomous truck system as a subscription. Aurora says its self-driving trucks are feature complete and are now undergoing testing to refine the software.
At the end of the first quarter, we reached the milestone of the Aurora Driver having everything that it needs to be able to run autonomously. Our goal now is to make those capabilities better and better through the end of this year as we skate towards that 2024 goal of commercialization.
Crazy. It's happening.
This is how I think the whole autonomous truck thing is going to play out. And it's going to happen sooner than a lot of y'all think. Once these autonomous trucks come into the market full force, it's going to start off with pilot programs in your trucking companies, even in your medium-sized carrier. Oh, yeah, and Knight, England, Werner, Swift, they're all investing in this technology. Yeah, I think they're going to start off these pilot programs with you just monitoring the software. Yeah, it's going to be a thing where you're just going to be behind the wheel to take over just in case it malfunctions or whatever. They'll train you on the new operations of the truck and what to look out for. There's probably going to be a code that says, oh, take over or whatever, and that's going to be your job. And when that happens, your workload is going to get cut in half. So if you're wondering why these trucking companies keep taking more and more and more from the drivers, it's because they have no incentive to give you a substantial raise. They're literally investing in your replacement, and it's coming sooner than later. In the beginning, you'll be chaining up, but trucks already have automatic chains that don't really work that well. They fail a lot of the time. But one thing about technology is technology keeps progressing. Yeah, there's hiccups to where it regresses every now and then. There's accidents, the technology glitches out. Whoa! Whoa! But in the long run, what technology does is it goes into the future and it never stops progressing. And this technology will disrupt the industry so bad, it's going to even disrupt food service. Instead of you going in the back of the trailer and unloading the truck, it's just going to turn into live unloads. Instead of having just the driver by his or herself unload this stuff from Cisco, US Foods, or whatever, well, these drop-offs, they have a bunch of employees and they could hire part-time employees just to unload these trucks. They could put a team of 4 or 5 guys to unload the truck real quick. And then once they're done unloading the truck, they'll probably just put in a complete code onto the driver door of the truck, and the truck will be on its merry way, and there's not going to be a need for a driver at all. What I think is going to happen is this. Once the technology becomes mainstream, which is probably going to be within the next 10 years, the guys that are really expensive, the experienced truck drivers, they're going to be the first ones to get laid off. These companies are going to downsize. They're going to give you this story oh, we're having financial problems, or we're rebranding the company, so we have to downsize. I'm so sorry, but we have to let you go. That's gonna be a big burden off of their shoulders because they're not gonna have to pay you, the experienced driver, with all your raises, all your benefits and your 401k, and even the union guys, your pensions and all that. They can just let you go.
They took your job! They took your job! Took your job!
Yeah, the guys that get let go with the pensions, they'll probably keep their pension, but they're going to be like the last of the Mohicans. This is going to happen even before the technology becomes able to where it could like drive itself. Like I said, they're going to let go of all you expensive, experienced drivers, and they're going to bring in youngsters. They're going to bring in foreigners from, other parts of the world, and they're going to, pay them like what, 30 grand a year, if that. And they're not going to have sleepers no more because sleepers are way too big and bulky and they just get in the way of everything and they're just a menace on the road, really. Driverless trucks are going to be day cabs, and the guys that are monitoring the software, they'll put these guys in hotels for the night. Once the software gets so good to where they don't even need them, they're going to lay them off too.
Oh man, they took your job. They took your job.
Pretty much the only people that are going to be making good money at these trucking companies are like the diesel techs. I mean, let's just be honest. When you look at a semi-truck, it looks old and outdated. The sleeper berth, it's too big, it takes up too much space. Yeah, and Silicon Valley, they feel the same way too. So yeah, the drivers of today who are like in their 20s and 30s, hell, even in their 40s, they're probably the last generation of truck drivers before this AI slowly starts to phase out the truck driver in the next like 10 years. So they have no incentive to like put more money and invest in the driver. They're investing in your replacement. Think of this from a business owner's perspective. Humans, truck drivers, they're expensive. They need to go home. They get into trouble with HR. They get into accidents. They're too much of a liability. And think of how rich these companies are, like Knight-Swift, England, Werner, Prime. They have so much money. They have enough money to lobby the government. You don't think they're trying to like replace you with AI? You'd be a fool to think that that's not what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. Once this AI stuff takes over, you think the rates are low now? The mega carriers are gonna be moving freight for even cheaper. They're gonna have the muscle and they're gonna have the technology to move freight for even cheaper at a bigger volume. And they're gonna make so much money. And when that happens, companies like UPS, ABF, they're gonna lose a lot of their contracts. Because think about it, if I'm a shipper, right? And CR England, they got driverless semis. Why would I go with ABF when they're charging me so much? No. I'm gonna go with CR England because their rates are like less than half of what ABF is. So trust me, these unions, they're not gonna be able to stop it. Nothing stops technology. So you think the layoffs at ABF are bad right now? Just imagine when this AI stuff comes into the equation. They're gonna lay off everybody. See, I just wanted to, give you something to think about. The world is constantly changing. Honestly, instead of trucking, I would go into construction. I would be an electrician, plumber, pipe fitter, welder. I would especially look into technology, become a software developer, a programmer, a coder, diesel mechanic. Those guys, they're not going anywhere anytime soon and they make a good buck. But trucking, honestly, like I said, look, these mega carriers, they're all the same. They pretty much got this game sewed up and they're gonna replace you guys with AI. They have no incentive to give you a raise. That's why you guys don't make a lot of money right now. So yeah, like trucking, I look at it as a blockbuster technology. I'll end it with this. The world's changing. The world is constantly changing. So you need to move with the times or you're gonna get like left behind.